We see a lot of bad stuff on this show, stuff most people would rather not think about, let alone stare at. But every now and then we come across a story that's less about the mess, and more about the miracle. The devastating LA wildfires destroyed over 12,000 homes, leaving behind a trail of heartbreak and destruction. It was the kind of devastation you see on the news, and thank God it's not your street, your town, your family. Yet against all odds, 2 homes survived. The question is why? What set these homes apart? In today's video, we're going to get dirty with a different kind of grime, the remnants of a wildfire, and uncover the critical lessons from these 2 resilient homes. Lessons that could help protect your home and loved ones in the face of a wildfire. Let's get started. First, let's talk about defensible space. Now, I know what you're thinking. Defensible space sounds like something some bureaucrat came up with. But trust me, it's not just a buzzword, it's a proven strategy. Think of it like this. If your house is on fire, the last thing you want is a bunch of dry tinder right next to the flames, right? This 100-foot buffer zone around your home is designed to slow or stop the spread of wildfire. But how do you create it? And more importantly, how did the owners of these 2 homes manage to do it while everything around them went up in smoke? It's all about removing combustible materials. We're talking dry leaves, dead plants, wood piles stacked up like kindling, and even wooden furniture. Think of anything that might burn on a good day, let alone when a wildfire comes roaring through. The homeowners of these surviving houses did what any of us would do if we knew a fire was headed our way. They cleared vegetation, trimmed trees way back, and replaced mulch with gravel. They basically sent their lawns to boot camp and told them to get fire ready. Now I know what you're thinking. 100 feet? Who has that kind of space? But here's the thing, you don't need to clear-cut the entire area, you just need to create zones. Zone 1 is the first 30 feet from your house. This is where you want to be really aggressive. Keep it lean, clean and green. Think manicured lawn, well-trimmed shrubs, and absolutely no dead stuff hanging around. Zone 2 extends from 30 to 100 feet. Out here you're basically playing forest firefighter. Thin out trees and bushes, keeping them spaced well apart. Remember, fire needs fuel to spread, and the more you can reduce that fuel, the better chance your home has. These homeowners understood that, and it paid off. They essentially created a buffer zone that starved the fire, giving their homes a fighting chance. So you've got your defensible space locked down, but what about the house itself? Let's face it, when it comes to wildfires, the materials you choose can mean the difference between a home that stands and a pile of ash. These 2 homes were built using fire-resistant materials. We're talking stucco, fiber cement siding, and those fancy double-pane tempered glass windows. Now I know what you're thinking. Mike, that stuff's expensive. And you're right, it can be. But consider this. How expensive is it to rebuild your entire life from scratch? These materials might cost more up front, but they're built to withstand the kind of heat that turns a regular house into a pile of cinders. Take the siding, for example. Vinyl siding, as common as it is, might as well be kindling in a wildfire. But fiber cement siding, that stuff's tough as nails, and it's designed to resist those hungry flames. And don't even get me started on the roof. The roof is your first line of defense against those flying embers. You know, the little pieces of burning debris that can land on your house and start a fire even if the flames aren't directly on top of it. Class A rated roofing materials like metal, slate, or those specially treated shingles are designed to take the heat. They can handle embers like a champ and resist catching fire. Now I'm not saying you need to go out and rebuild your house tomorrow. But if you're building a new home, or thinking about renovations, these fire-resistant materials are worth every penny. Remember, it's not just about building a house, it's about building peace of mind. Alright, we've talked about defensible space and building materials. Now let's talk about something a little less obvious: ventilation. You might not think of your home's vents as a fire hazard, but trust me, they can be a major vulnerability in a wildfire. Think about it, vents are like open doorways for those nasty little embers we talked about. They can sneak right into your attic or crawl spaces, where they can smolder unnoticed and eventually ignite all that flammable insulation. Not good. But here's the thing, the homes that survived the fire, they were retrofitted with ember-resistant vents. These vents are designed to keep those pesky embers out while still allowing for proper airflow. Now I know what you're thinking. Mike, are you telling me there's some fancy vent out there that can stop a wildfire? And the answer is, well, not exactly. But these ember-resistant vents are a game changer when it comes to protecting your home. They're basically like a fine mesh screen that covers your vents, preventing embers from getting in. They're not foolproof, but they dramatically reduce the risk of your home catching fire from the inside out. The best part? Retrofitting your vents is a relatively simple and affordable upgrade. You don't need to tear down walls or hire a team of engineers. A qualified contractor can install these vents in a jiffy, and the peace of mind they provide is priceless. We've covered a lot of ground today, from defensible space to fire-resistant materials to those fancy ember-resistant vents. But I want to show you one more tool that played a crucial role in saving these two homes: Wildfire Defense Mesh. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mike, is this another one of those fancy pants inventions that only rich folks can afford? And the answer is, thankfully, no. Wildfire Defense Mesh is surprisingly affordable, and trust me, it's worth every penny. This stuff is basically a stainless steel mesh that acts like a chainmail suit for your house. It creates a barrier that embers just can't penetrate. And the best part? You can use it to protect all those vulnerable openings in your home. We're talking vents, of course, but also windows, eaves, underdeck areas, anywhere those sneaky embers might try to sneak in. Both of the surviving homes we've been talking about use this stuff, and it's not hard to see why. It's like wrapping your house in a big fire-resistant hug. It's not about making your home invincible, it's about buying time. Time for firefighters to do their jobs, time for the wind to shift, time for the fire to die down. And in a wildfire, time can be the difference between a home that survives and a home that's reduced to ashes. Look, we can talk about defensible space and fire-resistant this and ember-blocking that until the cows come home, but let's be real for a second. None of it matters without the bravery and sacrifice of the firefighters who put their lives on the line every single day to protect our homes and communities. These men and women are the real deal. They run towards danger when everyone else is running away. They face down walls of flame, choking smoke, and the ever-present threat of falling debris, all to protect people they've never even met. They work tirelessly, often without sleep or even a hot meal, to contain these infernos and protect our homes. And they do it all with a level of courage and dedication that most of us can only imagine. So, to all the firefighters out there, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your unwavering commitment to protecting our communities. You are the true heroes of these stories, and we are eternally grateful for your bravery. So, what can we learn from these two homes that survived the LA wildfires? The answer is simple, but it's not easy. It takes work, it takes planning, and it takes a healthy dose of respect for the destructive power of Mother Nature. We've seen how creating defensible space, using fire-resistant materials, retrofitting vents, and even using something as simple as wildfire defense mesh can make all the difference. These aren't just fancy terms, they're lifelines. Preparation and innovation can make all the difference. Protect your home, your loved ones, and your community by taking these lessons to heart. For more resources on wildfire preparedness, check out the links in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread the word. Together, we can make a difference.